Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Death Note Domain. It's been a while since I posted a video. I was planning to have one every week, but the past couple weeks I've either been sick or just been really crazy busy, and then my webcam broke. So I finally got that all fixed. Stupid webcam. So now that everything is back to normal, I'm going to start posting videos every week again, hopefully. And this is the first in my hopefully long streak of videos every week. We'll see how it goes. So this time I want to talk about part one of the Death Note anime. I would say the anime is how most people find out about Death Note, at least over here in America. If you're watching this channel, I'm assuming you already know the plot of Death Note, but I'll just say it anyway, just in case you're watching it for a review because you're thinking about starting the anime, which I highly suggest. The plot starts out about a high school senior who's getting ready to take his college entrance exams, and his name is Light Yagami. And he's extremely intelligent, and he's bored with everything that's going on around him and sick of the just disgusting, rotten people that he's forced to deal with every day and to hear about on the news, and that he knows other people are dealing with as well. So when a rogue Shinigami named Ryuk drops his death note into the world, Light Yagami happens upon it. He decides to use it. A death note is a notebook of death, obviously. The name of the person who's written in it dies of a heart attack within 4 minutes and 60 seconds. Of course, later Light finds out other ways that he can use the death note, but that's the initial premise. When a detective named L, who's very elusive and not much is known about him, finds out about Light, he is determined to stop him and catch him at all costs. But Light, who could, you would think, kill off L, can't. Because with the death note, you need to know a person's name and face to be able to kill them. And since L is so elusive, no one knows his real name or what he looks like, so Light doesn't know how to kill him. And L doesn't know who Light is. He simply knows of him as Kira, which is what all of his supporters who support Kira killing criminals is doing. Call him. It's a really exciting series, trying to find out who's going to figure out the other one's identity first. It's a great cat and mouse psychological anime. The plot is amazing. I love it to death. It's, I think, one of the best psychological animes I've ever watched, just because no character I feel like is completely good, and you never know who's going to do what, and things aren't always revealed to you right away. It's also interesting to watch the anime from the anti-hero's perspective, or even the villain, if you prefer to look at him that way. We see more from Light's point of view than we do L's. We'll occasionally see what L's doing and thinking, but this is really Light's story. We're seeing it from Light and Ryuk's point of view, which I think is a really interesting way to look at it. The plot does drag somewhat, I would say, once you get to the Yotsuba group arc. Those of you who have watched know what I'm talking about. I mean, this is just my opinion. I know not everybody feels that way, but I thought that those episodes, while they were good and they were interesting, I didn't think like they were as exciting as the first, I'd say 15 episodes. The characters in Death Note are just really complex, and that's one thing that I really appreciate about this series. No one is boring. I mean, there are no characters that you're just going to sit there and be like, well, they're not at all interesting. Everyone is just very, very fascinating, and you don't know what they're going to do. Like I mentioned earlier, no character is completely good either. I would say not even L, who is the detective. He does some unadmirable things at times, and obviously Light does. I don't care whether you're a Kira supporter or not in the anime. He does some things that are not exactly smiled upon, I would say. I don't care if you're supporting him or not. But like I said, I love L to death, but he does do some things that I don't agree with. So like I said, nobody is perfect. The only character that I would say is actually the closest to being purely good would be Matsuda. I actually liked that they made him that way because I felt like it showed the average Joe. Elle and Light are so intelligent. They're on such an opposite end of the spectrum. And I feel like Misa is on the other end. I don't think she's as stupid as a lot of people think that she is, but she's definitely nowhere near as close to intelligent as Light and Elle are. And I feel like Matsu is in the middle. You know, he's not stupid by any means, even though a lot of the characters think he is. But he's not as intellectually advanced as Elle and Light are either. So I thought it was really interesting seeing just an average person's perspective on the whole thing and him trying to figure out where he stands on his support of Elle and Kira. The animation is incredible in the anime. Once again, that's just my opinion. Just speaking for me, not every anime fan out there. But in my opinion, I thought that the animation was pretty amazing. I love the way that they kept everything looking more realistic than most anime. Most anime has the more cartoonish feel, which is expected because it is an anime. But Death Note tries to keep more realistic appearances, which I loved. Now to talk about the English dub. Some people look at the English dub as the devil, other people love it. I have to say I'm in the latter group. I love the English dub. That's how I first started watching Death Note because I really wasn't into watching subtitles. I had a hard time reading them and keeping up with what was going on the screen. So it just made more sense for me to watch it dubbed. And besides that, I had gotten the first couple episodes for free dubbed. So I was like, why not just watch the dub version? Even though some people call it the spawn of Satan or whatever. I personally think everyone does an incredible job with their roles in the English dub. Light is incredible, Elle's incredible, everyone's amazing. I think everyone's great. There are a few minor characters that their voices aren't like as up to par as the main characters, but I mean, it's not that noticeable, it's not that big of a deal. The music in Death Note is incredible. I think it is one of the best soundtracks of any anime I've ever watched. And I've watched a lot of anime, and I listen to a lot of anime soundtracks, even for ones I haven't watched yet. And I have to say, Death Note definitely, hands down, has the best soundtrack of any anime I've ever watched. The only song that I wasn't crazy about was in the part 2. Opening theme was not great, but this is a review more of part 1, so I won't go into that too much. But I know some people love the part 2, but I'm just not into screamo. So that wasn't my kind of thing. But for part 1, the songs are amazing. And then, of course, the background music, the instrumentals are great as well. I think they're incredible. Of course, everybody loves Elle's theme and Light's theme. They're just both really amazing. The one thing that I thought was kind of weird is about where the official part 1 cuts off for the anime. Part 1 of the anime is considered up to episode 25, and then part 2 picks up with episode 26. I thought episode 25 was a weird place to stop. It didn't have a big cliffhanger, so I didn't really get, why are we stopping there? Why would we stop there? I mean, we could have stopped a couple episodes earlier when there was more of a, what's going to happen in the next episode? We have to get to the next episode. Or we could have even gone a little farther. I know most people really consider the end of part 1 after a major character's death. I'm not one for spoilers, so I'm not going to say, but if you're watching this, if you watch Death Note, you know who I'm talking about. So I would have said that they should have cut it at one of those 2 points instead of at episode 25, just because there's not as much going on that's very exciting. I mean, it's still going with the Yotsuba group arc. And like I said, I thought that was kind of slow. So I don't really understand why they would have chosen to cut it there, but whatever. The Death Note anime, I just highly suggest watching it. Of course, I love the manga. The manga is incredible, but I also think the anime does the manga extreme justice. It's just really awesome. So I definitely recommend that you check it out if you haven't watched the anime. And if you have, I would love to hear your opinions of it. Have you watched the English dub or the sub? What do you think of them? What do you think of all the things that I brought up so far? The animation and the soundtrack and whatever. just tell me your opinions of it because I would love to know what other people think. So that's it for this time. Feel free to like and subscribe. That would be completely awesome. And like I said, I'll definitely be having some videos coming up in the next couple weeks for sure, now that everything is back to normal again. And definitely leave a comment or a video reply on your opinion of part 1 of the Death Note anime. And I'll definitely watch it because I love hearing other people's opinions. So if you want to check back next time and watch my video next Tuesday, that'd be great. And hopefully I'll see you then.